Patch note 1.8.16 just arrived on the advanced server with some major changes in it. Major changes are made to some heroes along with tons of surveys have come. We have a sneak peek for M5 Zhong 2. So without wasting any time, let's jump straight into the video. Hi guys, Kazuki here, and in this video we will discuss all the changes that came along with the patch note 1.8.16. Question and answer round. The first question is from Dominator, and he is asking who is the strongest hero according to the lore. I think it's Layla. I'm just joking. Stay tuned as the whole video is coming out. The second question is from Aqua, and he is asking when is the Neo based event coming out. It's pretty near. It's coming out on September 5th. Drop your questions in the comment section below and I will answer them. And do keep out an eye for the redeem codes in this video. Moskov received some major changes. His ultimate now has a blink which can help him teleport to the back of the enemy. He has an appearance change too. We have covered it in detail in a separate video. Do check it out. The link is in the top right corner. Moving on to hero adjustments. Masha is getting a buff. The developers are trying for Masha to take full advantage of her 3 HP bar while reducing her defense and increasing her attack. Her attributes are getting adjusted. Her base attack speed has been reduced by 0.1 points. Developers have decided to remove her attack speed growth. Her hybrid defense is increased by 5 points. Her passive is getting buffed. They have removed her effect where she would gain attack speed whenever she loses her HP. Instead, they have added a new effect where whenever she loses, she will gain extra hybrid defense. When she loses her second HP bar, she gains full control immunity along with hybrid defense and lifesteal. Her skill 1 is getting buffed. Masha's skill 1 now consumes 25% of her HP, boost her attack speed and give movement speed for 4 seconds. Hitting creeps or enemies will reduce the cooldown of her skill 1. Her skill 2 is getting adjusted. The disarm effect on skill 2 is removed. The skill will now cost 10% of the HP bar. The projectile from skill 2 will hit all the enemy heroes. Her ultimate is getting adjusted. They have removed her control immunity and damage reduction. Instead, now they have added a slight knockback disarm and slow in her ultimate. Masha's secondary position is changed to the jungle. Dairoth is getting a buff. Some experimental changes are being made on Dairoth. His passive is getting a buff. The effect when Dairoth enhances his skills when rage reaches 50% has been removed. A new effect where after each 2 basic attacks or skill cast, his next basic attack becomes a circling strike. His skill 1 is buffed. The slow effect has been increased by 25%. The duration of the slow has been decreased by 0.5 seconds. His skill 2 is getting adjusted. The target defense reduction has been changed to 50 in the early game and 75% in the late game. The slow effect has been decreased by 40%. The slow duration has been increased by 1.5 seconds. A new effect has been added on the ultimate where his ultimate cast cannot be interrupted. Dairoth is going to be a lot of strong after these changes. If you are looking for 100% safe and secure diamonds, Kazuki Official Store is here to fulfill your need. We are trusted by more than 100k mlbb players from India, Philippines and Europe. Do visit our website and browse between various packs. Wan is getting adjusted. She is also receiving some experimental changes. Her skill 2 is getting enough. The effect when she gained control removal has been removed. A new effect where she knocks back enemies around her has been added. Her ultimate is getting a buff. The base damage of the skill has been increased by 30 points in the early game and 30 points in the late game. Lolita is getting a buff. Her ultimate has been tweaked. If Lolita gets interrupted by a CC skill, when channeling her ultimate, she will immediately cast it. The damage and its turn will depend on the channeling time. Fanny is getting a buff. Her skill 1 is getting a buff. The base damage has been increased by 15 points in the late game. Zhong is getting a buff. His skill 1 is getting a buff. The sharpened edge damage of the first skill has been increased by 50%. His skill 2 cooldown is now fixed at 11 seconds at all levels. Akai is getting a buff. His passive is getting a buff. The HP based shield bonus has been increased by 1%. HP based on basic attack damage has been increased by 1%. His skill 2 is getting a buff. The slow effect has been increased by 15%. The cooldown remains the same in the early game and has been decreased by 1 second in the late game. Barrett's is getting a buff. His skill 1 is getting a buff. The mana cost has been decreased by 15 points in the early game and 30 points in the late game. His skill 2 is getting a buff. The mana cost has been decreased by 20 points in the early game and 40 points in the late game. Baxia is getting a buff. His skill 1 is slightly enhanced. The stun duration is increased by 0.5 seconds. The cooldown is also increased by 1 second in the early game and 0.5 seconds in the late game. Julian is getting buff. His passive cooldown is reduced by 1 second in the early game and 0.5 second in the late game. Minotaur is getting buff. Minotaur will gain more HP bonus regen from magic power. Beatrix is getting adjusted. Her machine gun Nibiru's basic attack damage is reduced by 1.5% in the early game and 5% in the late game. Her shotgun whisker basic attack damage is increased by 28% in the early game and remains the same in the late game. Phoveus is getting nerf. His skill 1 base damage is reduced by 40 points in the early game and 40 points in the late game. Ixia is getting nerf. Ixia's passive, Siphon Stallium, no longer deals more damage whenever ultimate is used. Her attack speed boost now scales with levels from 30% to 50%. Her ultimate cooldown is reduced by 4 seconds in the late game. Paquito is getting nerf. His skill 1's cooldown is now fixed at 7 seconds at all levels. His skill 2 cooldown is now increased by 1.5 seconds in the late game. Bruno is getting nerf. His skill 1 base damage is reduced by 25 points in the early game and 50 points in the late game. Alucard is getting nerf. His enhanced basic attack damage and the improved crit chance are now reduced by 0.1 times. Moving on to surveys. First, we have Lancelot Epic Skin Survey. It is named Cherry Blossom Fox. The skin sure looks creative. It is giving me the Japanese summer festival vibes. His cute foxy ears, the flowers on the sword, and his traditional dress sure make him look much more joyous and festive than his other skins. The flame on the right shoulder is another very interesting touch. I like the design quite a lot. What about you guys? Secondly, we have Moskov Epic Skin Survey. The first design is named Golden Dragon Swallows the Sun. I can't say about swallowing the sun, but he does look like a golden dragon in this one. His gauntlets and wings are just out of this world. And his spear, it is so magnificent to watch. Hands down one of the best design I have seen so far. The second design is called Hunting the Self the Final, and it looks just amazing. His spear design looks very creative and unique. The light and dark orbs he is holding gives the vibe of Lunox's divine goddess. Maybe he will be connected to Lunox like Dairoth Collector and Franco Legend. The next design is named Extradition Menostiques. The wings are very nicely done in this one. The blue and purple tint makes it look very elegant yet fleshy. His crystal right hand sure is a unique addition to the design. His spear also looks very nice with the feel of the spear of the Celestial. The next design is Thunder Leopard Immortal Master. The spear has a lightning bolt on the top. Even his shoes have lightning boots engraved on them. A lightning bolt themed headband, bracelet and lightning themed gadgets. It was better if the designer named it lightning skin, I guess. The next design is named Devourer of Stars, and it does look like he eats up stars for his lunch and breakfast. I mean, just look at it, doesn't it look badass? His wings looks like a protective shell that he uses to travel in space, and the spear is just deadly ready to tear apart stars. The purple glowing hairs are just nightmarish. Lastly, we have Beatrix Epic Skin Surveys. Fantasy Candy Machine is the name of design one. Well, the design is really unique and gives vibes of 1-1 teen pop. But obviously, the design is much better than that of 1-1. Sharpshooter Red Flower is the name of design 2. This design gives vibes of Chinese theme. I wonder how will the different weapon look like. Virtue Agent is the name of the design 3. Not only it actually gives vibes of detective but also of a gangster. Moving on, we have the artwork for Lancelot's Marquess of Blades. It will be Season 30 first purchase skin costing 100 diamonds. Next, we have the display animation for Nolan's default skin.
Gaze upon the edge of the void.
It sure looks cool, doesn't it? And his basic skin Void Walker portrait is also updated. Next, we have a sneak peek at the M5 Zhong skin. I can't wait for its final artwork to be released. Hit the subscribe button to get all the latest info on the M5 event. The background for Season 30 Savior has also been updated. Next, here's the intro of Season 30 free skin of Baxia.
Rocks need no protection from the rain.
And here are the skill effects. mlbb X Ducati event will probably go live in the month of October. Layla will be getting the October Starlight skin called Midnight Waltz along with 2 painted skins. One will be purchasable via 100 diamonds and other via Starlight rewards. Lastly, here's the border of Season 30. And this is the 7th anniversary border which will probably be free. So are you guys excited about Zhong M5 skin? Or are you happy with Baxia getting seasonal skin? Whatever your opinion may be, feel free to share it down in the comment section. That will be all for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Keep supporting Kazuki Official.